Why your cat shows you its belly but hates being touched. Few moments in a cat owner's life feel quite as inviting as watching their feline companion roll onto its back, stretch out luxuriously, and expose the soft, furry expanse of its belly. It is an image of pure vulnerability. A cat splayed open, seemingly offering itself for pets and scratches. And yet, the moment you reach out to accept this apparent invitation, the spell breaks violently. Claws emerge, teeth sink in, and you are left staring at a small puncture wound, wondering what just happened. This is the great cat belly paradox, and understanding it requires looking beyond human instincts to appreciate the remarkably complex psychology of the domestic cat. To begin, it is essential to understand what the belly display actually means to a cat. In the wild, exposing the stomach is an act of profound vulnerability. The abdomen houses vital organs, the heart, lungs, liver, intestines, with no protective bone structure shielding them. For a predator that is also prey, showing the belly in the open would be suicidal. When a domestic cat rolls over and flashes you its underside, it is not issuing an invitation in the way a dog might. A dog rolling over to expose its belly is performing an act of submission, a clear signal that says, "I yield, please, scratch me." Cats, by contrast, operate on an entirely different social register. For them, the belly display is a mark of trust and comfort, not a request for physical contact. When your cat exposes its belly to you, it is communicating something closer to, "I feel safe enough around you to be vulnerable." It is the feline equivalent of a deeply personal confession. The cat is not saying, "Touch me here." It is saying, "I trust you enough to show you this part of me." The distinction is subtle but crucial. Recognizing the difference between an expression of trust and an invitation for petting is one of the most important lessons in cat communication, and one that most people learn the hard way. The second layer of the paradox lies in the belly's extraordinary sensory sensitivity. The feline abdomen is covered in specialized touch receptors that make it far more sensitive than, say, the back or the head. While a gentle head scratch might feel pleasant to a cat, unexpected contact on the belly sends a rapid flood of sensory signals to its nervous system. Signals that are quickly interpreted as overwhelming, even threatening. Cats are hardwired, both as hunters and as potential prey, to protect this zone instinctively. Even if a cat is in a perfectly relaxed, trusting state, the physical sensation of a hand pressing against its belly can trigger a deep-seated defensive reflex before the rational, socialized part of the cat's brain can override it. The claws and teeth come out not out of malice, but out of pure, ancient instinct. There is also an element of what animal behaviorists sometimes call petting-induced aggression, a phenomenon that is far more common in cats than in most other domestic animals. Cats have a remarkably low threshold for overstimulation. What begins as pleasant tactile contact can, within seconds, tip over into sensory overload. The belly, being the most sensitive region of the body, reaches this tipping point faster than anywhere else. This is why the sequence is so predictable. Relaxation, invitation, brief tolerance, sudden explosion. The cat is not being unpredictable. It is simply following a sensory timeline that humans fail to read because we are not paying close enough attention to the warning signs. The twitching tail, the skin rippling along the back, the narrowing eyes. Understanding this behavior also sheds light on something deeper about cats as a species. Unlike dogs, which have been selectively bred over thousands of years specifically for social bonding and responsiveness to human cues, cats are more recent and more ambivalent companions to humanity. The domestic cat retains much of the psychological architecture of its wild ancestors. It did not evolve to be touched constantly. to solicit affection on human terms, or to subordinate its instincts to social harmony the way dogs did. A cat that tolerates belly rubs, and yes, such rare individuals do exist, is not behaving like a typical cat. It is a cat whose threshold for stimulation is unusually high, or one that has been gently habituated to it from a very young age. So what should you do when your cat offers you its belly? The answer, counterintuitive as it might feel, is often to appreciate the gesture without acting on it. Acknowledge the trust your cat is showing you. If you feel compelled to make contact, move slowly and watch for signals of discomfort. Many cats will tolerate a brief, light touch on the lower chest or the sides, areas adjacent to the belly but less sensitive. And if the claws come out anyway, resist the urge to feel rejected. Your cat was not being deceitful. It simply showed you something true, that it trusts you, that it is comfortable in your presence, and that it is still, at its core, a wild creature navigating the strange, soft world you have built together. The belly display, in all its paradoxical glory, is one of the most honest things a cat will ever show you. It just means something different than you think.